The Instagram post went up on a Tuesday morning. A hospital bracelet, an IV drip, soft lighting. The caption read, "Starting my cancer treatment journey today. I'm scared, but I'm a fighter. Please keep me in your thoughts. Strong arm, flower. Hashtag cancer warrior, stay strong." Within hours, Melissa's post had 3,000 likes. Hundreds of comments poured in. "You're so brave. Sending healing energy. You've got this, queen." Her Venmo and Cash App filled with donations. Someone started a GoFundMe. By evening, she'd raised $12,000. There was just one problem. Melissa didn't have cancer. She never had cancer. The hospital bracelet was from a routine blood test. The IV, a vitamin drip from a wellness spa. The treatment journey was completely fabricated. And when her former roommate Jordan saw the post and knew it was a lie, she faced an impossible choice: expose Melissa and become the villain who attacked a cancer patient, or stay silent and watch her friend weaponize suffering for attention and money. Jordan stayed silent for 3 days. Then she couldn't anymore. What happened next reveals one of the most psychologically manipulative trends of the millennial generation: the weaponization of victimhood, where suffering becomes currency and truth becomes negotiable. To understand how Melissa got here, you need to know who she was 2 years earlier. She was a 29-year-old graphic designer in Austin. Decent job, nice apartment, active social media presence. Mostly travel photos and brunch shots. About 800 followers, nothing special. Then she posted about her real struggle, her anxiety disorder. It was vulnerable, honest, raw. The response was overwhelming. Her followers doubled overnight. People she hadn't talked to in years reached out. "Thank you for sharing this. You're so brave. This helped me so much." Brands contacted her about anxiety awareness partnerships. For the first time in her life, her pain gave her power. She posted more: her depression, her toxic ex, her childhood trauma. Each post performed better than the last. More likes, more followers, more opportunities. A local magazine interviewed her about mental health advocacy. Someone paid her $500 to speak at an event. Melissa discovered something intoxicating. In the attention economy, suffering is the most valuable commodity you can trade. But like any currency, it inflates. You need more of it to get the same return. Jordan watched this transformation with growing unease. After the anxiety posts came posts about her eating disorder, then her narcissistic mother, then being a survivor of emotional abuse from her ex-boyfriend, the same guy Jordan remembered Melissa dumping because he was too boring. Each narrative got darker. Each story added layers, and Melissa's following grew to 15,000, then 25,000. Jordan noticed something else. Melissa's real life wasn't matching her online persona. Online, she was perpetually struggling, barely surviving, fighting daily battles. In person, she seemed fine. She went to parties, she dated, she laughed. She wasn't falling apart, she was thriving. But her content said otherwise. One night, over wine, Jordan gently asked, "Hey, I saw your post about being suicidal last week. Are you okay? Do you need help?" Melissa waved it off. "Oh, I was feeling really low, but I'm fine now. It's just, people really connect with that kind of honesty, It helps them feel less alone." Jordan felt something twist in her stomach. "So you weren't actually suicidal?" "I've had dark thoughts," Melissa said defensively. "Everyone has. I'm just willing to talk about it publicly. That's literally advocacy." This is the first red flag Jordan missed. Melissa had stopped distinguishing between experiencing pain and performing it. Then came the cancer post. Jordan knew immediately it was fake. She'd been with Melissa the day before at brunch. Melissa had mentioned getting a vitamin drip at a spa and joked about posting it to mess with people. Jordan thought she was kidding. She wasn't. When Jordan called her, she was calm, almost annoyed. "It's not technically a lie. I have pre-cancer cells. My doctor said I'm at elevated risk, so I'm basically in treatment. It's preventative treatment. Melissa, you told people you have cancer. You're accepting donations. I said I'm starting my journey. I didn't specify. If people make assumptions, that's on them. And the money, people want to help. Who am I to deny them that opportunity? Jordan felt like she was talking to a stranger. You're scamming people. Melissa's voice went cold. I'm sharing my truth. If you can't support me during the hardest time of my life, then maybe we're not really friends. And there it was. Jordan was now the bad guy for questioning Melissa's truth. The psychological mechanics. What Melissa mastered, what an entire generation has weaponized, is the exploitation of therapeutic language to shut down accountability. Let's break down how this works. Tactic 1. Reframe criticism as harm. When Jordan questioned the cancer claim, Melissa didn't defend the facts. She reframed Jordan's concern as an attack during her hardest time. Suddenly, asking for truth became causing harm. This inverts the moral framework. The person lying is the victim, and the person seeking honesty is the aggressor. Tactic 2. Claim subjective truth. I'm sharing my truth. This phrase is a masterpiece of manipulation. It takes the legitimate concept that people experience reality differently and twists it to mean facts are negotiable. Melissa doesn't have cancer, but in her truth, she might someday. So the fear is real, so the post is justified. Truth becomes unfalsifiable. Tactic 3. Use therapeutic language as a shield. If you can't support me, I'm setting boundaries. I need to protect my peace. These are all legitimate mental health concepts, but Melissa deploys them to avoid accountability. Any pushback becomes toxic, triggering, or invalidating her lived experience. Tactic 4. Monetize empathy. The GoFundMe wasn't just about money. It was about creating financial stakeholders in her narrative. Once thousands of people donated, they became invested in believing her story. Exposing her would mean admitting they'd been fooled. So they doubled down on defending her instead. Tactic 5. Build an audience army. By the time Jordan considered speaking up, Melissa had 30,000 followers emotionally invested in her journey. If Jordan said anything publicly, she wouldn't just be questioning Melissa, she'd be attacking someone that 30,000 people believed was a cancer patient. The mob protection was built in. The generational context. So why millennials? Why this generation specifically? Because millennials came of age during a perfect storm of cultural conditions. First, the therapification of culture. Millennials were the first generation raised with widespread access to therapy, mental health language, and trauma awareness. This is overwhelmingly good. Stigma around mental health decreased dramatically, but it also created a vocabulary that could be weaponized. Terms like gaslighting, narcissist, trauma, and boundaries became social currency that could be deployed to win arguments and shut down dissent. Second, the social media attention economy. Millennials grew up with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, platforms that literally quantify social value through likes, shares, and followers. They learned early attention equals worth, and nothing generates attention like struggle, suffering, and survival. Third, economic precarity. Millennials graduated into recessions, crushing student debt, and unaffordable housing. Real victimhood was everywhere. Many genuinely struggled, but this created an environment where claiming victimhood became rational. It could unlock GoFundMes, reduced rent, extended deadlines, social support. The line between genuine struggle and performed struggle blurred. Fourth, the collapse of shared truth. My truth versus the truth emerged from postmodern philosophy, but went mainstream with millennials. It started legitimately. Marginalized people saying, my experience is valid, even if you don't see it. But it metastasized into, I can claim anything as my truth and you have to accept it. Fifth, call-out culture. Millennials pioneered public accountability through social media. This was powerful for exposing actual abuse and injustice, but it also created a weapon. Whoever claims victim status first controls the narrative. The accuser is guilty until proven innocent. and sometimes not even then. Melissa didn't invent these dynamics, she just understood them intuitively and exploited them ruthlessly. The exposure. Jordan finally did it. She posted screenshots. Melissa at brunch the day before the cancer diagnosis, laughing, healthy, mentioning the vitamin spa. Text messages where Melissa admitted she had precancerous cells at most. The response was immediate and split. Half the comments were supportive. "Thank you for exposing this grifter. I donated $50. I want it back. This is disgusting." But the other half attacked Jordan. "You're bullying someone with cancer. Even if she exaggerated, she's clearly struggling. Why are you adding to her pain? This is so cruel. Delete this." Melissa responded within the hour. A tearful video, no makeup, voice cracking. "I can't believe my former friend is attacking me during the hardest time of my life. Yes, I may have used imprecise language about my diagnosis. I was scared and confused. But to have someone weaponize that against me, to try to destroy me when I'm at my lowest, this is exactly why people don't speak up about their struggles." She disabled comments, but the shares flooded in. Hashtag #IStandWithMelissa trended locally. Jordan received death threats. Notice what happened. Melissa admitted to lying, sort of, but reframed it as imprecise language. Then she made Jordan's exposure the real crime, and it worked. She rebranded. Now she's a mental health advocate who speaks about the dangers of cancel culture and how social media trial by fire impacts survivors. She has 20,000 followers and a Patreon. The dark psychology of weaponized victimhood isn't about dismissing real suffering. It's about recognizing that in an attention economy, some people have learned to counterfeit the currency. And the cruelest part? Every fake claim makes it harder for real victims to be believed. Melissa taught an entire generation something dangerous, that suffering, real or performed, is the most valuable thing you can sell. The question isn't whether to believe victims, it's whether we've built a culture where the performance of victimhood pays so well that some people will fake it.